All right. Now for the real introduction tonight. She earned her PhD in health sciences with a focus in healthcare administration. She taught as a professor with Indiana University for almost 10 years. Her position required that level of education. In addition to teaching at IUE, she assisted at Boise State University and Louisiana State at Shreveport. Her education gave her the ability to complete research and studies which aided county health departments, county health departments with information and knowledge to develop treatment programs for incarcerated opioid-addicted individuals to help them maintain sobriety upon release from jail. The information in the studies also help to better community programs as well and strengthen harm reduction pillars. Coupled with her education, Dr. Foster has served humankind for 36 years as a spiritual medium. That's, of course, why we're having her on. Passing on information to others, retaining tacit knowledge that is only experienced and learned in the field. She uses her gift as a tool for God and spirit to work through her like a channel or conduit. She works to guide others regardless of their financial station in life, never limiting access due to limited financial means. She believes her gift is to be shared while at the same time helping to support her cause. Her website is www.godstool.com. She mainly uses Twitch. Her channel there that she broadcasts on at Paranormal Reality TV is www.twitch.tv/Paranormal Reality TV, which she broadcasts live readings Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Paranormal Reality TV on Facebook. It's on Facebook. Her YouTube channel is youtube.com/C/Rebecca Foster. For professional services, you can contact her at facebook.com/GodsReader. Her main Facebook page is facebook.com/Dr. Rebecca Foster. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest is Dr. Rebecca Foster.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very good. How about yourself?
I'm good. That's a mouthful.
Yeah, but well deserved. I like to try to make the guests sound like they're superhuman almost, really.
Okay, I'll take it.
And make it sound, I mean, and what you've accomplished is great in both your education levels, even outside the paranormal field.
Yeah. I love education. It's a good thing.
Because when I was looking into you at first, I didn't know you were a doctor.
Yeah.
I was just looking up the name.
Really? And you found out a lot. Because I'm like, did I tell him all of that? I don't think so. I think you found it all. It's just pretty amazing sleuthing.
I check out people's your website. I check that out very closely. I also take well, I'll be honest, I watch a live broadcast you did in the past.
Yeah.
And that's usually what I do to help me.
You did. You did it Secret Squirrel too. I didn't even know it was you.
Absolutely. I was part of her show on Tuesday night. I was just in the group, and she gave a reading on me as well.
I know. Isn't that hilarious? Great.
That is hilarious. Right at the beginning, and I did not say a word that I was going to be the host for tonight.
No.
All I said was
a
hello.
Different name anyway, so it was like there would have been no discovery there on my part, which is great.
Exactly, yeah. And I was very impressed with the reading you gave. It was strange too. It wasn't towards me. It was actually towards one of my members of the team.
Yeah. It happens sometimes. The person I'm reading for ends up as the messenger, and you're just supposed to pass that message on, which is, it's not that it's unheard of. It does happen. So, yeah.
All right. Well, it's about that time that we take and have a toast.
Okay. Toast.
And we always have a toast here on our show for those that might be just joining us. We like to have a toast because we're approaching the weekend time period. You've almost made it. We're at Thursday evening. Yes.
Woohoo!
If you're watching live.
Do we drink now?
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay. Nice. Thank you.
It's a great way to start every show.
It is.
All right. One question I always ask just about everybody. You always get a different answer too. Like, how were your parents towards the paranormal when you were growing up?
Non-existent. It wasn't real. I don't think we ever talked about ghosts and stuff growing up. We talked about scary things, but not ghosts. We scared each other, but we didn't talk about ghosts. I guess nobody's ever asked me that question before, but no, we never talked about any of that ever. Never. It was never discussed. It's interesting thinking about it. Yeah. Never talked about it.
I'm sorry. At what age
Mhm.
did you realize you have abilities?
Well, so that I go back to the age of 4. That is the first time that I realized that I could see people who'd passed over. And I do recall telling people about who I was seeing, and they just basically thought it was a 4-year-old imagination. I went on with seeing things and experiencing things, but again, adults look at it like, it's an imagination, they're playing, it's that kind of a thing. And I did not actually start using it to help people until I was 13, at which point it was more of a circus act at Denny's. Yes. Yeah, Denny's. That's Denny's. But yes.
Reading and a grand slam all in one.
Oh my gosh. Well, my oldest brother, he hung out at Denny's. That's where he hung out with all of his friends. So when I wanted to see my brother, my parents were divorced, and if I saw his van there, I would just check in and be, hey, how are you? And I would sit down at the table with him. We're an 8-year difference, and I would tell him what I saw. And then he would have his friends come over and, oh my gosh, sit down, let her read you. So that is legit how I started reading people, was sitting at a booth in Denny's. That was it. It was pretty funny. Yeah.
Well, it is ironic.
And the reason I asked that at what age, because I was going back to, you said your parents really, didn't. So it's kind of like I was expecting a little later in life, maybe late teens, early 20s, but before, and wow.
Yeah. Yeah, no, my great grandfather had passed away. You guys, I can talk. So you just have to be like, okay, next.
Feel free to talk. This is for you.
All right. Well, great. It's it's more for the viewers, right?
That's true. Yes.
No, I went to preschool. I went to Montessori, actually. Went to Montessori. I was 4 years old. I came home. My mom said Bampa, who was my great grandfather, had passed away. I was very upset. I remember going up to my room and falling asleep. And upon that, I did some astral projection. I ended up in my grandmother's house, and I was standing in the living room, and I could see the ambulance outside. And I watched them bring him down the stairs, and he sat up on the stretcher, and he goes, where am I? Where are you guys taking me? And he got off of the stretcher while they took his body out, and he never left. So I would go, I immediately got up. I went to the house, and he was sitting in his chair, and I was like, Bampa's right there. And so I called him the Bampa ghost, and nobody believed me. They just thought I was traumatized. And so I think I just dropped it, but he was there. I talked to him all the time, like a full person sitting in the chair with his rocking chair. And I will tell you that I had to have been about 6 years old, 7 years old. I was riding my bike one night, and my grandmother had huge floodlights on the garage, and I was riding down the driveway away from the lights. So they were casting shadows. And I saw him standing in the driveway with his cane and his hat. And it freaked me out. I mean, I was like, holy crap, it's a ghost. At that point, my parents had already told me ghosts, blah, 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 are not real as a dead person. So I got scared. I turned around and went back, realized what's to be scared of, went back, and he was gone. But never have left the house. They're still in the house. And I've tried to get back in. The gentleman who owns the house now was going to let me back in. But his family said, if you prove that this place is haunted, we're never coming back. So he won't let me back in his house. It is haunted. So if you're listening, the house is very haunted. There's like 10 people that died in there. Huh? Neener. All right, got it. Sorry.
It's if they're living in the house and there's nothing negative, I mean, I don't see a big deal.
No, exactly. They were just old people, and it was one of those old houses where it was pre-hospital. So when you were ill, you died in the house. There was a sick room, and everybody went to the sick room and they died in there. Except as hospitals and more modernization of healthcare came about, they ended up going to hospitals and passing there. But the majority of the people who lived in the house died in the house in all sorts of different rooms, which is great. Yeah. And they're all still there.
Nice.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that is something. What do you do to protect yourself when you're going out and doing investigations?
Well, my faith. I have a super strong faith, and I believe that statement. The biblical aspect of "He who is in you is greater than he who is of this earth," and I go about knowing that I have white light within me. I have God in me. I have Christ in me, and ultimately, I've read the Bible enough times to know that anything out there, human or otherwise, has the ability to hurt us, push us, punch us, scratch us, pinch us, whatever they want to do, but they cannot kill us. And it's still terrifying. However, that's what I do. And I legit am more worried about people than I am about ghosts injuring me, because people cannot, people are people. They're just stuck in the human existence. Whereas I sometimes feel safer around the ghosty energies. If they're jerks in life, they're going to be jerks after life. It doesn't matter what you're dealing with. It's literally this is 37 years this year. I have encountered a maximum of 2 demonic energies. 2. The rest are just a-hole humans.
I'm surprised by that. I would have thought you would have had a little bit more than just a couple anyway. That's good though.
Yeah. Nope. It's really not a demonic situation most of the time. You're just dealing with people who have never crossed over, and they're still angry or bitter or crazy or whatever, or schizophrenic, whatever they were in life, they still are, because they haven't been nothing else has been revealed to them. They're still in their human existence, their human mindset.
That definitely makes sense. And we have a question for you.
Yeah.
All right. Michael Austin wants to know, I know I asked this before, but who's all around me?
Well, Michael, the thing about your energy is that I think you already know that you have a multitude of active spirit guides. And I say active because everybody has a spirit guide, or at least 6 around them, plus your archangels. But the fact of the matter is, you're aware that there are things around you. And I'm not talking humans who have passed over. I'm talking like celestial guides. And they are, when you are addressing them on a daily, they're addressing you. So they may pass on messages, pennies, feathers, dimes, songs, lyrics, music to answer a question. And I think because, Michael, that you're aware of them and you have a huge faith in the other side is why that they're always attuned. Like, oh, Michael's up, let's have a chat, or let's send him a bird or a hummingbird or a butterfly or a penny. And all of a sudden it's sitting at your foot. So I would just rest assured, Michael, that your openness, like your childlike openness to them, your faith in them being around, is what strengthens their connection to your daily activities.
All right.
Yep.
And we just got another one as well. Thank you, Lauren, for tuning in. Do you have any messages from my mother or anyone?
Okay, so let me explain first to everybody, because I'm sure that most people here have never heard of me. So when I am reading, everything comes through in a symbolic manner. So it's almost very telepathic, symbolic, and it'll appear in pictures, and they will walk me through your higher self, your higher spirit's world. So if I take you, Lauren, if I take you and I place you down where the first place that I go for everyone is a beach. The beach is where my guides help me to understand them, to understand their symbolism, and to understand their language. And so, Lauren, if I take you and put you on your beach, the first thing you do is go barefoot. You look like you're wearing a skirt, a blouse, and an apron. And you kind of stop and you gather your balance, and you're kind of like your legs are a little bit open and your arms, and you're looking around with your arms out, catching your balance. And your higher self says to me, wait a second, where am I? Which is interesting because this is your safe place. Like this is your world. And the fact that you ask, where am I, means that you have not been taking care of yourself well enough lately, that you are not paying enough attention to what you need. And the fact that you're also wearing an apron says that you're constantly serving others. And I think we get into that whole role of things. You're the core, or you are the center now. And the fact that you're asking about your mother, this clicks. Thank you. I talk telepathically to them all the time. So if I jump around, it's because of that. But it's because all of a sudden with your mother being gone, now you look like you are the caregiver. You're the one that everybody's coming to for support and guidance. You're not paying attention to the water, which is opportunity. You're not paying attention to your personal growth, which is up on the dune. You're just boop on your beach. Now, I do hear you're barefoot. Again, let me repeat this. Barefoot means that nothing right now is holding you back. Nobody is telling you what to do or how to do it. And then all of a sudden I heard who I believe this is your mother coming through saying, why do you keep putting it off? Why do you keep putting it off? And I felt as she said that, I went, what are we putting off? That's how fast it works. And I felt almost as if you're putting off some kind of a vacation or a trip because people need you. And it's like, what am I going to do? Believe me, if you died right now, the world would go on. It would continue to exist and people would find a way. And so if it is work or family that you are putting off because so many people are depending on you, more the reason for you to be, she keeps asking, why do you keep putting it off? And then she goes, tell her, here's the key. Here is the key. Give her this key. Like she's adamant, give her the key. And it's a silver key. And she's saying, give her the key. So first off, she also wants you to know you're never going to make that whole family happy. You're not going to do it. There will be bickering. You cannot solve it. She couldn't solve it. Walk away from those you can't solve. Go on a trip. And it feels like you're not just going on a trip. You're going back to roots. You're going back to something historical within your family. So, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Interesting. And if I read for you guys too, if I read for you, post it in their comments so that they can see what I'm like, if it makes sense to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Important.
Yeah, please do, because I did that on Tuesday night. Anyone who's watching who I was Central PA investigators, who anyone who's yours happened to watch Tuesday night. All right. Kathleen Lynn, the one I posted hers by mistake for a moment there. I wants to ask, does Spirit have any messages for me?
Kathleen, the first thing your guides actually want you to know is to they're actually pushing you forward, and then they go and they rewind you. So they're saying that right now you are obviously picking up on things you're supposed to be doing. You're picking up things that you are supposed to be moving forward with. Your soul knows it's time for a change. But the problem the thing we do as humans is we exert our own free will, sometimes prematurely. So we know the green light is coming and we just floor it. But right now, what the Spirit is saying is back up, because there are resources that you are waiting for that have not yet appeared in your timeline. And what's going to happen is you're going to move forward and go, wait a second, maybe this was the wrong move. It's not that it's the wrong move. It's that you're going to be ahead of the game. And then the first thing you're going to do is go, wait a second. If nobody else is here, maybe I'm not supposed to be here, but you are. It's just that it's a waiting game right now for you. It's a hurry up and wait. You're going in the right direction. You may even see numerical messages to you like 444s that say keep going, do not stop your direction. Pay attention specifically to the messages that you get numerically. And if you just happen to by chance look at the clock and it says 123, look it up. What does angel number 123 mean? Because your guides, the more you pay attention to them, the more they will feed you direct messages that will help guide you on your day. Pretty awesome. But back up a little bit. You're in the right direction. Just pause. Just Netflix it, or ice cream, Doritos, and wine. My choice of pausing. So, yeah.
All right.
And it makes sense.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm just reading her comment that it makes sense. Yeah.
All right. And Alicia Berger has a question. Any messages for her? I'm Alicia. I've been following your pages for years.
Nice. Okay, perfect. I know the name, Alicia. Hello. All right. So, Alicia. Okay, so the message for you, like right away, the first thing your guides show is that you are hanging on to what looks like some kind of a flotation device, and you're in the water. Your hair is slicked back. You've been under a couple of times, but you're still floating in the water, and you're kicking your feet. Boop, boop, boop. So you're actively moving as I'm watching you. Now, when a person is in the water, this looks like a disappointment has occurred, because it looks like at some point you went out for someone else. You went out on the water for someone else. You moved and changed your existence for someone else, and that fell apart. And then you are hanging on to the remnants of their boat or their raft, and they're not around. This person, whoever it is no longer there, but you're using a piece of their boat to hang on. So the fact that you've also been under the water means that there has been a time, I would say within the last 6 months to a year, that you have really literally felt like you were drowning, and you are no longer doing that. You are and this feels like also a life lesson. Like you have experienced this multiple lives, multiple times in different ways. Same church, different pew kind of a situation. So you have experienced going under so many times, and you are finally over it. Like you will never drown again. You have learned so much that now all you need to do, girl, is kick your feet back to your beach and realize that everything that comes your way, you are totally worthy of accepting, because God does not dangle carrots, and he does not say to you, look what you can't have. It is now your free will decision to accept, and do not self-sabotage. And from this very split second on, you look to the future, ignore the past, burn it like it never happened, because it's totally a new beginning for you as long as you set your mind to it. It's freaking amazing. I love it. And the lessons that you've learned and can teach others is amazeballs. That's all I'm going to say, Alicia. Love it. Keep going.
All right. Thank you, Alicia. And she goes on to say, you told me you couldn't find my beach before about 2 years ago.
Wow. Okay. So I didn't even see you on your beach 2 years ago. Girl, get on the beach. You can make it happen. Like, stop trying to float. Stop thinking that you need to be out on the water or struggling. Start finding the people that click with you where you're going. Don't commiserate. Don't find people who are at a level of complacency. Raise your bar. You know, I always tell people this. If you are growing and you're shifting and you're hanging out up here, and you've got people and family and relationships and jobs and neighbors and everybody who are down here, the moment you're like, boop, you're up here, you're jiving and vibing at a high level, and you're growing spiritually, and they're just like, bleh. And the thing that what you always tend to do is you're like, oh my God, I feel so bad, because your compassion levels are high and you're highly empathetic. You're like, I'll just come down to your level. Bleh. And then you feel ill. And then you're trying to figure out, why is nothing moving forward for me? You say to you, hey, you guys, I'm not coming back down to you anymore. If you want to be around me, you come up here. And they're going to go, ain't no way in hell am I going to find a way up there, because they're complacent. So you go, fine, I'm leaving. Boop. And then you leave. You go find the people that are boop up here, and you attract your new tribe. Your vibe attracts your tribe. Ditch the people around you who are holding you back, girl. No more self-sabotage. So important. I am vibing on this. This is like a massive energy. It's awesome.
That's awesome.
Love it. I know. I could get up like at a pulpit right now and preach about this, because I feel so much energy about it. It's freaking amazing. I love it. Yes.
She also goes on to say she drowned when she was 7, and she saw some pretty amazing things. She worked as a
Oh my God. Oh my God. Girl, you're never going to drown again. Never. You're never going to drown again. Ever, ever, ever. It's done. It's over. You've overcome your past life. I would guarantee you probably drowned in a previous life and you died. And this time you've literally drowned physically in water and came back. But again, what I went back to say before, same church, different pew, other relationships and experiences you have found yourself drowning in and bogging down and struggling to keep air. Ditch all of it. Scratch it all. Step out of the frame. Look at it and go, what do I need to remove? Who do I need to remove? I don't care if it is a parent, a sibling, a friend of 40 years, a relationship of 60 years. I don't give a darn who it is. If it's holding you back, you cut it out. And you know what? Jesus didn't save everybody either. He knew when to walk away. You're not Jesus. None of us are. Walk away. Absolutely. You drowned in a hot, holy cow, she drowned in a hot tub. Wow. So amazed balls. Oh my God, girl. And wait, how was you were 7? Did that last message say or something like that? We were you and I are a lot alike. Interesting. You know what? I find that I am more alike with people than people realize. But then again, we all have the same lessons at different times in our lives so that we can walk in people's shoes. We can help people. We can guide people and they can also guide us. And so what I did today, someone else may have done 10 years ago and be like, oh my God, I get it. I can totally relate and understand. And that's what people don't understand. It doesn't matter how we grew up, where we grew up, the color of our skin. It doesn't matter. We all have the same experiences in different levels and different understanding of it. And that's where compassion plays in. I love that. That's awesome. Oh, I'm so hot. Oh my God. I'm like burning up right now, you guys. Woo!
Burning up. Turning red.
I am. Like I'm burning up. I'm so hot. I don't know if that's the coming of the Lord or the hot flash happening. Oh my God, I'm so hot. Holy cow. Batman. Jeez. Okay.
All right. And Dawn says, hey, lady, how are you? Dawn.
Oh, hello, Dawn. How are you, darling? Okay. Nice to see you guys here. I love that.
All
Excellent.
right.
Holy cow, it's so hot.
And excellent. Lena says, I've always been in the water. I've been close last time. Am I still close or on for far away?
On your beach or far away. Okay. Lena, let's take a look at where you're at. You're actually you're on your beach, but you are what I would say in the middle of concocting. Your higher self is in the middle of concocting the next portion of your plan. Like you're bringing all the ingredients together. I do not see you going back out in the water very soon either. It's that wine. I shouldn't have had that glass of wine. Now I'm burping, but I do that anyway while I'm reading because I swallow a lot of air when I'm talking. And so much. But Lena, you're actually going to be taking the resources and the people, places, things, the money that has been. This is a situation where you hurry up and wait, where you're out in the water, you're not integrated back into your beach. You're finally back there because the resources that you've been waiting for are finally catching up and coming into order and into place. That's what's so cool about a deja vu. So pay attention to deja vu, Lena, because if you have one, no matter the crap that you've dealt with or the things that have happened in your life, when you have a deja vu, it's like a split second pinpoint of catch up with your life contract. And so you could be like, oh my God, I went through all of that and I'm still perfectly where I'm supposed to be. That's what's happening. And you're going to be doing things from comfort level now instead of thinking that you have to go out in the water and seek out something that you've never done before. This will be coming from people, places, and things that you know. Like, hey, Lena, I thought of you. I saw this and was like, oh my God, she's got to do it. That's what's going to happen. It'll be handed to you right now. Yeah.
All right. And Kathleen just said thank you.
You're welcome, Kathleen.
And Tina, any messages for me?
Hi, Tina. Do I know you, Tina McDuffie? That name sure sounds familiar.
Let me see what else she said here along the way. Hold on
I
here.
think that name sounds familiar. Tina McDuffie. Have I read for you before? I think so. Maybe a long time ago. Are you in Virginia? Are you a McDuffie? I don't know. That's interesting. All right. So, Tina, you're barefoot. Great. You're in control right now. You are in charge. It's a great time to start new things. Yes. Okay, you are. I do know you. I knew. It's been a long time, girl. All right. I was at your house. See? That's my memory working for me right there. I was even in your house. Okay. So what was I even telling you? I don't even know. Now I got off track completely. Okay. So you are in a great place, barefoot. Start new things right now. Deconstruction is over, and now they're rebuilding the new. So that's a message to you to say that things that you have perceived, human perception, as falling apart or as loss is done. And now they're going to be rebuilding the brand new and the fresh. And it's going to be modernized. It's like tearing down the sands and building an MGM in its place. You're catching up with the time, the people, the situation. Everything is being constructed bigger and better around you to facilitate the new experiences that are coming into your life. You've lost all of the old, and all of the new experiences are coming. And it feels like there's also an educational experience happening. So you may be asked to learn something. Maybe this already happened recently, but asked to learn something or to be educated on a new subject that will help other integrative aspects of business, if that makes sense. It's the only way I can put it. My brain does not work when I'm doing this, so I lose my vocabulary, which is extensive, but I lose it.
All right. And Dawn wants to know, anyone have anything for her?
Dawn, you actually have a brown dog coming through for you. A brown dog. Now, anybody who knows me knows I twizzle dogs, and I twizzle meaning I like bloop. So everybody usually has more than one dog, but this is a brown dog, long tail, floppy ears coming through. And I feel like this dog may even drool a lot. I wonder if this is a living dog that's around you right now. It's talking about its teeth, like a back tooth. A back tooth is like hurting. There's back tooth, something about the tooth. I don't know if this is in need of, golly gee, I can't even imagine canine dental work being done, but something about a tooth. And if the dog is or has ever had issue eating, that would be why. And dental things, even on humans, that can create massive infection and can be very serious. So it hurts actually. It feels like it's the lower jaw, something about the lower jaw. It's a tooth, something with a tooth. Is there a T around you? Do you have a brother who has a brown dog with a long tail and floppy ears? What kind of dog is this? It almost looks like a Weimaraner or something like that, but brown. Yeah. Yes. That was from before. Who am I reading for right now?
Dawn. Dawn.
Dawn. Okay, so I'm looking. I can get into the comments as well, and I was just looking to see if Dawn had replied. But it's a T. I wonder if it's a cha. The only reason I say ch is because my kids used to say truck, and they thought it was a cha, ch, and it made me aware that, oh, I wonder if I mishear cha for ta. So where did she go? Dawn, where are you? You disappeared. You're not replying.
She did say
your dogs are going to doggy dental.
Oh, sorry.
Interesting. No, interesting. I'm sorry. I should turn the comments off. I shouldn't even be like, I'm vibing on that. I'm like, well, I could see their comments. I can see everything comes through. I should turn it off.
She also did say, if she's not here, that right here, she never looked up the numbers that she sees all the time. Just did very interesting.
Oh, very cool. When I was talking about looking up angel numbers, I'm telling you, John, if you're listening, you can reply in the chat room. But all I'm getting for you is this dog situation in the dental work. So I wonder if you have a dog that's talking about you need dental work, because animals will tattle huge on their owners. And they will tell that they are not taking care of themselves, or that they have a peeping Tom and that's what they're barking at. It's not a squirrel, but animals talk a lot. I always say, if you're going to commit murder, don't do it in front of your animals, because they will talk to people like me.
I never would have guessed that.
No.
Oh my gosh. I helped solve a murder in Omaha, Nebraska, because a husky saw the guy murder his wife.
Oh, wow.
The dog gave enough details about the situation that the police actually took me seriously and were able to convict him. Yeah. Which is cool, right?
Very cool.
That is awesome.
I've never heard anything like that before.
Yes. Well, I don't, and murders and stuff like that, they happen. They're a dime a dozen. Literally, it's a sad situation. I do not pay attention. I don't even watch the news. I rarely watch TV unless it's Harry Potter. And so or Game of Thrones. I just don't do it. But sometimes things will flash. And if I'm seeing it, I think, okay, I'm seeing it for a reason. And so I will call the police and be like, I know, yeah, I'm a medium, and I know, just hang up on me now. But I still let them have everything I'm seeing in case it can provide. In this one case, that dog he just sung, man. He told everything about what happened, and it was close enough that they were like, wait a second. So yeah. Yeah. And after the whole O.J. Simpson situation, I was in California. And my manager at the time took me to Brentwood to the house where it happened. And I stood outside. I was like holding the gates where it happened. So then I was able to feel the energy, and I was able to talk to the dog that was still living, and I was able to communicate. And I'm just going to say, he did it. He did it big time. Oh my God, he did it so hard.
Simply put, no one else could have done it in reality. It's almost impossible.
The dog recognized him. That's why the dog didn't bite, because the dog was super pure, like super protective. And the dog was like, I didn't bite him because I knew him. So I'm like, who am I supposed to bite? I love both of them, because dogs are super loyal. So that's why the dog did not bite him, because he knew him. Otherwise, the dog would have attacked. And the dog just talked and talked and talked. It was so creepy, because, I'm standing there and yeah, it was crazy. Animals are awesome. Love them.
Wow.
Only domesticated animals, though, like pigs, they don't really talk. Birds are more messengers. They don't really have a voice unless it's a parrot or something that's domesticated and hanging around people. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Most domesticated animals, though. Dogs, cats, birds. I guess I've never tried to talk to a lizard. We've got a couple. I don't even try.
All right, one moment here. We'll take a momentary break just for a moment.
You're watching Paranormal Files Into the Darkness on CARC Universal.
All right, a reminder to everyone, our guest is author, clairvoyant medium, Dr. Rebecca Foster. Again, please put all questions in capital letters in the chat if you could, please. That'll help us out. If you like the broadcast, consider helping us out by liking and sharing. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and watching on Facebook, or giving a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel and sharing on YouTube. Thank you. We'll get back to the questions now. All right. Let's see where we were here. One moment here. Dawn did, I'll say, hoping for a change in my life. Will there be a change in her life?
Actually, yes. Pertaining to that specific question, yes. And the reason that there's going to be change happening is because you finally resolved yourself and resigned yourself to that being a change. And it's interesting, because sometimes we will see the change is needed for a long time, and we know the path we're supposed to take, but because it requires not only changing our own life, but those of others, it's more difficult because most people are considerate. Other people are not. Hence, all the people I hold doors for is at Walmart because they never say thank you. But anyway, yeah. So when you hold a door for someone, they're not going to say thank you all the time. Just understand that. Okay. Rant over. But anyway, for you, Dawn, yes. So you have finally resolved yourself to the fact that change needs to happen, and the change is scary. It feels unknown, but I don't think your soul is going to let you stay the same. It's going to force you to change or make the changes needed. So yes, change is coming. And it's interesting because the next question is, but am I going to be okay? Of course you're going to be okay because you're the one making it happen, because Spirit is the one inspiring you to make the change. Mind you, we have free will. So Spirit can't make it happen. He has to say, do this. This is what will happen if you do it. See all the beautiful things that you will have in your life if you do this. Oh yeah, I see, but I don't think I'm ready. I'm not strong enough. And then we waver back and forth. And so, yeah, you're about to make those changes in your life. Finally. And it'll be good. Yes. I think that's great.
All right. Rosemary K. Thank you for tuning in, Rosemary. Wants to know anything from me.
Hi, Rosemary. You smell like cotton candy. You smell like heaven. So you must have a gentleman around you right now that is letting you know he's paying a visit and letting you know that he's around you right now, because you have hot cotton candy, like fresh cotton candy on a stick, and not jalapeno on a stick. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. My brain just goes at 50-mile places. Okay. I have a shirt actually that says, no, she's not drunk, high, or insane. That's me. I have it. It's actually in the other room. It's just me because I'm going 50 million places, but he is somebody paying you visit, letting you know, hey, I'm here, and telling you also to make sure it seems like you go to bed at the right time every night, but you don't fall asleep or you have trouble sleeping. So try to switch that up a little bit. Maybe drink some tea or meditate or do something to try to change, up your evening. And we'll stay awake with you. We'll stay up with you. We'll stay with you. Yeah. It feels... I don't know. It feels like a caregiver. It looks like somebody who would protect you. It feels like someone who would protect you, like a husband or a father figure, but it's definitely male energy. And peppermint. I'm also supposed to talk about peppermint or peppermints. Somebody who liked peppermint. Interesting. Love that.
All right. Going back just for a moment, Dawn. She says, sweet. I feel like it's time to make some changes. I'm so ready. Thank you.
Yes. It's hard to ignore when you are barraged with the visuals and the feelings, and then you know you've got to make the changes, but it's so hard, and then you're angry and you're frustrated because you know you need to make the change, but you don't think you're strong enough. And then you resent the people and the situations around you because you're still stuck. It's a whole process. It is a whole process. And it really just comes down to knowing that if you don't make the changes, you will surely not be able to live the next 50 years in the situation you are now. That's really what it comes down to. Yeah.
And Rosemary also asks, interesting for me too, because I have two of them. Has a cat ever spilled the beans for you?
Yes, cats and dogs always talk. Dogs are more blabby. Dogs are just more distraught. Dogs are more blabby. Cats are more interested in themselves, actually. So I used to have a woman that only came to me not for readings for her, but for her cats. That was it. I was reading her cats the whole time. And cats are just a little more arrogant. They're a little more self-servant. And They literally don't care about us. They could totally live without us. And they are not concerned over your health as much as dogs are. Dogs are very concerned over their owner's health, but I have not yet seen a cat be like, hey, Karen is not taking her meds or eating right, Rebecca. Say something. I've never had a cat do that, ever. It's always been about them. Always. Mm-hmm. And I guess I've never considered that until that question. So, yeah. Yeah.
All right. Zach's taking the time to eat more than one at a time. Grilled asparagus, anyone?
Oh my God, grilled asparagus. Asparagus in any way is a delicious thing. Okay, fight me. Asparagus of any kind is delicious. And hello, Zach, how are you? Good to see you here.
And Michael also asked, were there any messages for me?
Well, yes, and I had given you that message earlier. I don't even remember what it's about, Michael. I don't, because I'm not thinking these things. I channel them, so they come through and then they're foop, foop, in and out. And I usually don't even remember. People will tell me like, oh my God, let me tell you what you said. I'm like, oh my God, tell me more. What did she say? Because I'm like, I don't even remember it, but it's so exciting. So yeah. But thank you so much, Michael, for being here. You're super faithful. You and Alita, I've seen you guys in like everything I do. And I thank you for it. Rosemary, I remember you. Dawn, you guys are always hanging out. I really appreciate you guys hanging out and checking out this podcast with us too.
Yeah, we appreciate it too. Definitely. Thank you. And Elisa, please, not sure the reference.
Alita, did I not just read you today? Literally, we just got off the phone like 5 hours ago, but you know I love you, girl. I can't live without you. So exactly. And what does it say? And thou shalt have dominion over the animals, except for, of course, the cats.
Did you think of anything after we parted ways?
No, you know what? I didn't. And it's funny because I don't know how, because I read for so many people, but I think because I do enough podcasts and I have my Facebook pages, my Twitter, the TikTok and YouTube, I think that over the years, I just have gotten to know so many people who are followers that they've become like just a part of who I think about every day. And I think I want everyone to know, maybe you guys agree, when you do a podcast enough and you have enough people, these become those that you think about and you consider. And there are things that I read about people once in a while, and I think, I hope they're doing okay. I hope that they're getting through this. And so for those of you that are watching and who are just so faithful in being at everything and supportive, I do. It's crazy how you guys pop into my thoughts and I'm like, everything okay? All right. Okay. They're good. Everything. And so you guys are always on my mind, but I promise you, I swear to you, and I honor it, that if I get anything on anybody ever, I will message you. I will not make you pay for it. Like, hey, I got some information, but you got to owe me $50 for it. I will never hold information hostage. I will never do that. I will just send it to you. Okay. So don't think that if you ever get a message from me that says I have it, but it's going to cost you. That's not from me ever.
$8 no, $50.
What do you get for $10? Okay. That's not.
I like hold. It's kind of like those when they. Oh, what am I trying to? I just yeah. You know, ransom. That's the word I'm looking for. Somebody gave it to me. Ransom.
I understand it completely.
You know, like when a company gets hacked and they're holding a ransom. So you have some information, and you'd be like, "Hey, $50, and I'll release that."
Yeah. No, never would I do that ever. If I get information, I will immediately message or email people. And if they've gotten a reading from me, it's like, hey, oh my God, I came up with this, but I will never hold information ransom, especially because if I'm reading for someone, I always leave that door open that if a lot of times people are thinking about things way far away. When I'm reading, they're coming up with questions so far away. And then they get off and go, oh my gosh, I forgot this or that. So if I'm reading for someone and they call me back or email within the next week and they're like, I just came up with this, that's just part of the reading because I stirred that or I made them consider it or think it. And I don't charge people for that. It is just an ongoing relationship. Now, if you want 45 minutes of my time on a Wednesday afternoon and I have things to do and I'm surrounded by appointments, then yes, it's different. But if I just read for you and you have questions about that reading or things that have occurred or your family said, well, wait, is that what that is? That I just go with that. I do not charge people for any of that. It's just not fair because it's just not fair. So the human brain doesn't always think right now. And so I'm if people message and, hey, this just came up, and even people who are like, hey, I just found you and I have this serious problem. Don't take advantage of that. But I do just answer people. I do not send people to my webpage and say, no, you got to pay for that. I don't do that. It's a gift from God. It's him that's giving me the information. I'm not going to go, oh yeah, I get it. Yeah, I got the answer. You got to pay for it though. Screw that. I would never do that to anybody. No, and including myself. It's my soul that I'm like working with here, So yeah.
All right. And just to go back, Alita said you were spot on the things for today.
Alita's awesome though. Alita's just going to say that because she knows that I love her and I love her, and she loves me. So she's just a generous person. She's a generous soul. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we have a lot of questions still in the chat, and we're about 53 minutes in. How much longer do you want to go, may I ask?
Well, I have another podcast that I have to do at 9 Eastern. So okay. I'm good. Okay. And I'm still ready to cheers. I haven't even drank this yet, so I'm good. I told you because I said I haven't had a drink in so long, and I heard you say we cheers, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll open a little bottle of wine and pour it in there for the cheers. Hey, Kimberly Rose. I'm sorry, I can see the chat. I should really turn this off. This is so bad.
No problem. Hey, the show is for you. It's
so funny.
and the chat. So that's what it's for. So
yeah, I'm ignoring it. I'm just not paying. I'm letting you do the thing. Yeah.
All right, we'll go on here. Let me find the next question here. Because
now we're on to question number 2. 2 out of 20.
Yeah, usually we don't have this much of a chat. So thank you again. Thank you very much for everyone. The chat's much bigger than it's been for a long time for me as well, which is great. Thank you. You guys are super, everybody. Let me see where I'm at here now. Give me a moment here. I'm sorry. We're after Alita. All right, there we go. Okay. Well, I am skipping a lot going down to questions right now, really. All right. Mike has a question. Michael Austin, is my cat trying to tell me something?
I know this sounds weird, but I'm wondering if the cat has some kind of like a bladder infection or something. I'm wondering if the food is off, if the pH of the cat is off. I'm wondering if that's the case. It just feels like the cat, I can feel bladder. I'm hearing bladder. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Bladder. Straight to the bladder or infection. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. And
looks like Vivian has. Yep.
Yeah. Anything for
hey,
me?
Vivian wants. How are you? All right, Vivian. You're kind of on a conveyor belt right now, Vivian. You're kind of you really don't need to do anything right now. If you just sit back and allow yourself to move forward right now, it's almost about like being a passenger of a vehicle. you're going to continue to move forward. You don't have to do anything to project yourself forward. The trajectory is happening. And these are the times too when it's kind of like when you get in a car with your parents, you know that you're going to get in and you may have a 5-hour drive ahead of you, but they're going to get you exactly where you need to be. You don't say like, oh, Dad, turn left. Oh my God, turn right. You don't do that. You just sit back there and you fiddle faddle, you play games and you fall asleep. So that's really what they're saying is disregard the need to control everything right now or the directions you're going, because Spirit is taking you exactly where you need to go in the perfect time. You don't even need to try it anymore. Interesting. Love that. I love when they tell us to non-adult. That's the best.
When they tell us what?
To non-adult.
Okay.
Let go. Stop trying so hard. Go be a child for a day or a couple of hours. Get the hell out of my house so I can clean, kind of a thing. Leave. Let go. You're in my way. And too many adults feel like they have to control every minute of every second of every day, or every second of every minute of every day. There we go. And it is our relationships with God and with Spirit, with the universe, with Source. They mimic our relationships with our parents and our children. And what do? When we ask for help, do you want my help? Or are you going to continue to do it? Because I have things to do. Literally, I have no patience for that. If my kids ask for help, give it to me. Let me do it. Otherwise, go away and struggle some more because I don't care. I have too much going on. I work from home, okay? There are no boundaries here. So the same thing goes with him. If you ask Spirit for help, get out of his way. Give it to him and let him fix it and stop worrying about it and trust the fact that he's going to do it. That's it. So amazing. I love that. I'm like, here, I can't handle this anymore. I'm going to go get a bag of Doritos. Thanks. That's what I do. I legit stop worrying. And I say, I don't care what you do with this at this point, because I don't care what happens. I don't care. I don't. When I finally resign myself to something is when everything works exactly how I want it to. Because I've gotten out of the way. I've removed my free will. I've removed my ego. I've removed my control. And that's what people need to do. Just hand it over to someone you trust. That's God. Yeah.
Very good point.
Yeah.
Can be
Love
hard
that.
to do.
It's not when you realize that once you decide that it does not matter how it ends or turns out, because you know it's going to be okay. It's amazing when I want something so badly that I can taste it and I'm begging for it. And I'm like, oh my God, what do I have to do to get this? I'm like, wait a second. If I don't get it, then this might happen. And I'm okay with that. So I don't care. Here you go. Bye. I'm done. I'm going to go outside and play. And I just stop thinking about it. And then bam, I get exactly what I want. It's freaking amazing. And trying to teach people that is difficult because people think they have to control everything up to the last second, and you don't. You just have to be okay with however it turns out. And then you get this amazing, pleasant surprise. Freaking love it. I live by it. It's awesome. It's countless. I can't even tell you how many miracles have happened just by letting go. Love it. Exactly. Vivian, yes. And Alita, yes. Yes. Zach, you guys are these people they're like on everything I do. That's how faithful they are. They're freaking amazeballs.
That is totally awesome, to say the least.
Yes.
I mean, something better, not to put it, would be, I can't think of something better, but whatever would be
Love
better
it.
would certainly work. Yeah, that's tremendous.
I
It
love
shows
it.
also, it speaks a lot to you, the type of person you are as well.
Well, you know what? I don't go to church. I just don't. I've not found a church yet that has ever ascribed to what I know of God. And it's definitely not the fact that I'm passing out my money in a bowl for everybody to watch. And It is not about what I can do afterwards and the fellowship. It's not about that. It is my relationship with him. And so I love the fact that he uses me to reach people that maybe don't go to church, that maybe don't believe in him at all. And I love that I can talk about him and share his experiences and his presence in my life, and not shove a Bible down people's throats, because then I might say something, or he will inspire me to say something, or tell me to say something, and then people are looking it up on their own or trying to get closer to him, because literally I would not be here with you guys right now if it weren't for him. And I would have been dead a long time ago. And I cannot express enough how freaking amazeballs. Like, I say amazeballs a lot because I'm trying not to swear, but he's freaking amazeballs. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. And I have studied a lot of religion with my degrees. I have studied all sorts of different religions, and I ascribe to many different religious beliefs because I believe that they all actually are the same thing. And depending on the politics and agendas of various regions and countries and men of those times, that's what you receive from those religions based on those things. And there are many teachings that I believe that are not biblical, as far as Indian resurrection and reincarnation. There's so many things. So it's not about going to church, and it's not about keeping a Bible next to your bed every night. It is about having a personal, loving, fun relationship with your guides and with spirit and with the universe and with source. And that's all that matters. It's all that matters, because it's amazing. Love it. Yeah. And you're never alone. You may have like a million voices in your head like me. But again, I'm not crazy. I'm not insane, and I'm not drunk, and I'm not high. It's just me. It's just the way it is. Yeah. I love it.
I think it was well put what you said.
Yeah. I love it. You can't be better off. I mean, if there's anybody else in the chat room that's ever just sat down and cried to your dog, dogs are pretty awesome listeners. So.
And they actually do listen then, obviously, as well.
Oh my God, they do. Yeah. They do. Dogs listen so much, and they don't judge. They listen, they talk, they share, they're concerned. If you ever find yourself sad and you're around your animal, cats will not care. They will not care. But if you are destitute, dragging on the rocks on the bottom, crying your eyes out, a dog will walk up like, "Are you okay? What's going on with you? Do you need help?" They will come up to you gently. They will put their ears back. They will see, are you all right? They're picking up on the energy. They are amazing listeners. Yeah, I love it. Dogs don't talk either, unless they're talking to me. So your secrets are good. Your secrets are good. Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing. What other questions do you guys have? I know you had like 2 pages.
Yes, I actually, I figured we were going there. Whoops, sorry about that.
I did that.
Oh, you did that. Okay. Oh, sorry.
It looks like Barbara's our next
we
one.
can hit that. Well, what happened is the chat started filling up with questions. I didn't anticipate that much. And I figured, well, we'll just keep going on them. That's what I figured.
Yeah.
All right.
I did want to add, there were experience questions I wanted to ask you about. Because you have a good story, and you sent me a couple pictures of have a horse in, and it's quite interesting. They're quite interesting pictures as well. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. So I shared that picture because I knew it would be so easy for you guys to share. So I was actually with Kimberly Rose. I was at her house, and we went to the Manassas battlefields. We just left the museum portion. There was only a couple of us, and we were walking around outside. It was overcast. This Union soldier came up to me, and he's like, Do you mind if I walk? And he was showing us certain things around the battlefield. We went around and down, and we came across a tree line. And he was talking about the Confederate soldiers that were still in the trees, and that they were still, you could hear them. Well, I could hear them, and they were still down there ready to fight. And as we came up and back around from the parking lot to the right field, he said, the horses are out. So I snapped this picture of this Union horse that was running along the tree line. And it's obviously a horse, but the horse wasn't there. But Kimberly Rose was there that day, if she's still a part of this. And she was walking with me on this adventure, and that horse was just there. And we went several other places that day that we caught amazing photographs. But yes, and Kim saw, there she is. So that horse is running. His face is to the left of the photo, and you can see his hind and his tail, but he was running towards the trees at that point. But that is not a horse. It is, well, it's a horse, but it's a ghost horse still on the battlefield, which is pretty cool. Isn't it? Love
Very
that.
cool. I think,
That is.
and I think it's a great picture. I mean, I admit I try to debunk things, and there's no obvious, like, you don't have, like, there's no camera flare or anything like that. It's quite different than anything I've seen picture wise.
Yeah.
I
Isn't
like
that
it.
excellent? I love it. It's amazing. We had so many cool pictures though. And I don't know. I can't even show you. It was a day of, I think, wineries and drink. And actually, Kim herself caught a picture while we were out that day of, I think, a row of 4 or 5 soldiers walking across a hayfield. And it was an amazing shot. But
Definitely
she just caught it, like taking a photo of the field, and bam, there they were. And later on, she's like, oh my God, look at these soldiers, like their bayonets, everything. You could see all of it. It was so cool. But I love, like, the Gettysburg, the Pennsylvania area, the Manassas battlefields. Those areas are riddled right now. The ghosts are just constantly reliving everything.
Plus, we're coming to the anniversary in Gettysburg.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. July. It's coming up.
Yes.
Oh, I wish I was there, but I'm not.
Have you been?
I have several times. I've been to Gettysburg. I love it. Yes, there was so much. We were, well, because Kim and she's a good friend of mine, and so many people I read for are in Virginia. I'm out there a couple times a year, and we wandered around battlefields. Again, we went to Gettysburg a couple of times. There are a lot of ticks in Gettysburg, so be careful.
I can see that one.
Oh my God, I don't know how the soldiers dealt with the ticks. I don't know. You go out towards, like, the small, big and small, I'm just blank right now, hills.
Round Top? Like
Round Top,
little,
thank
big
you.
Round
Yeah.
Top? You're
Big
welcome.
and little Round Top, thank you. You walk through those small, knee-high fields, you're covered in ticks. And so these guys in the sweltering heat, battling on, away from family, sweating in wool suits and covered in ticks. I cannot imagine the disgusting part of that. And snakes, exactly. Yeah. Nope. No. So yeah, that is one of my passions, is going that direction. I love being anywhere around the historical parts of the country. So cool. Love it.
And you also, I'm not sure where it was, but you tell a story also in which you were doing just that. You were taking some people on, and you talked to some ghosts or spirits. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
You know what? I think I do it all the time. I go, which instance are we talking about? Because there's a lot of instances like that.
I don't know a location in particular.
Everywhere
ran
I go.
across it.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, I usually turn it off because I know how to turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter where I am. I try to turn it off because I hate going out in the public.
I don't like to be around crowds. The more I enjoy myself, the more that veil lifts with people. And all of a sudden I'm picking up on every issue, every abuse, every addiction, every problem. And it's overwhelming sometimes. And I think anybody who is highly empathic or is able to read people finds that problematic. So it's not a mental problem. You don't need medication for that. It is simply an energy issue. You just have to shut it off. So I'm a huge advocate for learning your spiritual business before you go and have a doctor drug you up. So, wherever I'm at, no matter what, I might be out to dinner with you, and all of a sudden I'll be sitting there and I'll be like, oh my God, they're fighting because he's cheating. Oh my God, he's cheating on her. Oh my God. And people are like, oh my gosh, she's reading those people again. Here we go. And that is what's super fun, and then they're like, hey, can you come back to the conversation, please? I'm like, oh my God, they're cheating on each other, but I'm trying to figure out what's going on over here. Hold on a second. So I might be in a line at Walmart. People know if I pull out a business card in the middle of nowhere for no reason, they know to walk away because it's going to take a minute. So I will just start. It's not because I want to call attention to it, but sometimes the spirits, the energies are just like, please, will you say something? And they're adamant that I've got to stop right now and talk to the person in line with me. And usually people are like, what are you talking? I've had people look at me and go, no, I don't want to know. I don't want to. And they run away because they're terrified. I don't want to. And then they run away. I'm like, okay, fine. But if I am bothered by the energy, fine. And I'll pass on the message. But most of the time I ignore it. Do the best I can go. Mm-hmm.
That's interesting to me. Oh, whoops. That's
Yes.
interesting to me. They can be sometimes quite persistent.
They're very persistent.
I never thought of that possibility.
Well, the moment they find out someone can see them, they're wandering everywhere. Absolutely everywhere you go, they are. And that's why people are walking through a store and all of a sudden, oh my God, I have anxiety. I'm having a panic attack. No, you have an attachment because your energy is bright and they want to use you, or they think you're heaven. It's not that you're having a panic attack or an anxiety attack just because you need medication. It's not always that. And it can come down to simply the fact that they're attaching to you to find a way out of here. I always tell people, check your health. Okay. I'm freaking out right now. Did I eat? Yes. Okay. My blood sugar is okay. All right. Am I all right? Nobody is attacking me. Okay. I'm fine. At that point, get off of me. That's my step. Did I eat? Yes. My blood sugar is off. Because they will drain your blood sugar. They'll make you feel like you are weak, or that you'll start to get the shakes, because an attachment can mimic blood sugar, hypoglycemia, and an anxiety attack. And it's because they're drawing all of your energy away. They make you weak and all of a sudden shaky and tired. And so you address all the physical elements first, and then you tell them to get the hell off of you, because you are not heaven, nor are you here to save them. And you force them off of you, because that's what I do. I'll be in a Walmart. I'm like, get off of me. Leave me alone. And people are looking at me like, who's she talking to? I'm not crazy. Some kid is attaching to me looking for his mama or something like that. I don't have time for that.
So
I feel like that. What?
Oh, I'm sorry. Do they hound you literally almost constantly?
Yes, but I've learned to shut it off. So I barricade my energy when I'm out. I just shut it off unless I want to have fun and see what's happening. I do not allow them to attach. I do not allow them to see my energy. I ignore them. I look past them. If they notice me looking at them, I'll act like I'm staring through them. I won't engage them. I won't engage them. Nope. No way.
Is there a way that I guess, is there a light that some kind of light or something we put off that they can see?
Yes, it's our energy.
Okay.
Yes, it's the electromagnetic field. It is what we put out. And if you are an energy person, if you are highly empathic, if you read people easily, your energy is just that much brighter. You feel things, your energy is that much brighter, and they see you and go, oh wait, is that a healing? Is that heaven? What is that? Where's that light coming from? And they will find you and they will attach to you, and not on purpose or harmful, but it is just because they're trying to find a way out. If you feel ever that you've addressed your sugar, you're fine, you've eaten, they're not being attacked, you're okay. You put yourself in, I just walked up 12 flights of stairs and my heart's going 100 miles an hour. I'm not having a heart attack. My heart's doing what it's supposed to do to keep me alive. It's very possibly an energy situation. And you address it by being very blunt. You cannot be on me. You must detach. I am not any source of life for you. You must let go. And by addressing these things verbally, you can cause them to let go. But a lot of times it's just a mistake.
Also, since we're getting close to having to end it, what do you have? What can you tell us about your upcoming appearances? I did catch a few from your website, though.
Sure. Yes. So this weekend, I actually have an investigation gallery and overnight in Mason House Inn in southeastern Iowa. I have one ticket left. It's actually one ticket for two people. There's one of those. And the following week, I will be joining the Blondes, Booze, and the Woo at the Malvern Manor in Iowa. I am going in like secret squirrel because it's not my event, but I'm going to have fun. So I'm joining them as just the fun part. And that'll be fun on the 8th. The weekends after that, I will be filming with Paranormal Reality TV. And that is a super fun thing where it's a whole new reality show where the viewer tells us what to do, where to do it, how to do it, with what, questions to ask. And then it is probably about 8 hours of live filming. And then we take that 8 hours and we shrink it down to a 1 hour episode. And that's what's televised. So the viewer could end up on the show with us if it leads to something. But a lot of different things, lots of different stuff coming up. And then many engagements live where people can get tickets to see, to join me in the galleries for free or for readings and stuff through both Paranormal Reality TV and through my own galleries that I do across the country. New York, Philadelphia, Illinois, Iowa coming up.
Ooh, I'll have to check
When
out.
are you going to Philly?
In August. We'll be in Philadelphia in 2 different places, 3 different probably in August, and Staten Island in August as well.
Yeah, it's about 2.5 hours from us.
Yeah,
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Not too far from us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Maybe we'll have to try to see if we can get there somehow.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah.
I'll have to keep you posted on where and when.
Yeah,
Yes,
please
definitely.
do. Please do.
Right.
We didn't. It wasn't the plan. We didn't really talk at all about your books. Do you want to talk a little bit about your books?
People can, you know what? I have 3 books out there right now. I'm working on a 4th one, but the 3 that are out there are available on Amazon. It started with The Beaches, A Journey of Answers. The second one is God, Please Tie My Shoes. Those are both guides to what I do and how you can do it and how you already do it. And then the third one is a manifestation journal that I personally have used for years, and I've put it into book form so that you can help guide and focus your energy to manifest your hopes and dreams. And believe me, that stuff works. Yes, there you go. Perfect. And yeah, I have marked them as cheap as I can according to Amazon sales. So they are at the threshold. So the Kindles are $0. You can also purchase each of those for 99 cents. You can get the paperback, the hardbacks. Yeah. But the 4th book I'm working on was actually inspired by a time I was with Kim, and we were shopping and she pulled out a book and I was like, girl, that book sucks. I need to do something else with that. And as we were shopping, I went, wait a second. I need to put readings in a book. And so that's what I'm doing right now. And I don't know how long it's going to take because it's going to be over 365 pages. I know that already, but it's going to be both readings and affirmations for 365 days. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's
every
quite a
day I
book.
sit down and write a little by little by little by little. Yeah. I'm excited.
That's
So
all.
I have to ask before we go: is there anything on me? Because I've never had this before. I've never had a reading. So I have to ask before we go. Okay.
Okay,
I
yeah,
don't
I can
blame
tell
you.
you this. I can tell you this before we go. So the one thing that that is important for you is that you're actually going through an experience right now where you're able to see your life as it is, not only now, but as if you were to make a change in it. So you have a very rare experience. If it's not happening right this second, I do read plus or minus of this moment. So it gives you the opportunity to see what your life would be like if you were to make a change without actually making those changes. And it is a short period of time, but you can decide without having to say, oh, I quit this, cut this off, walk through the door, going to choose this. You're able to actually stand in the door and go, okay, that's that, but this is this. And you're able to have that visual of both experiences at the same time. And that is a huge blessing. And it's a rare situation. And you want to take it into account, really feel like live in both of those moments, because usually they're learning experiences. So it's not like choosing the new one is the way to go. Sometimes we are shown what we could have so that it helps us to appreciate what we have more. And other times it's to say, you can have this, it's at your beck, but you have to give this up in order to do that, because you cannot eat your cake, have your cake and eat it too, literally for long term, but you're given that moment to do that for a short span of time. So definitely consider that when it starts happening. Change is obviously inevitable, but it'll be more of a perception perspective and how you live by the decision you make. And I think you're going to feel super fulfilled after it's done. You're going to be like, I made the right choice. Regardless of what it is, you're going to know you made the right choice. I love that. Yeah.
Just me. So is it something that will present itself, or like me not?
Yes.
Like, so.
Yes. You will feel like the questions that you have, the what ifs, the I wonders, those you will have clarity about. You will see an experience or be given an experience that helps to answer those questions. And you'll be able to go, okay, well, I can see it now and I don't need that. I'm good with this. I'm happy.
No.
Or, wow, that's exactly what I've been wanting in my life. That's exactly how I've wanted it to go. And I can have it. So that's why you'll be given that. It'll be, I would call it a godsend.
Wow. I got
for
the
clarity.
Chance. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything on me, may I ask by chance? Besides earlier in the week.
Yeah, so personally on you. So not about everything I read for before, but personally on you. So definitely, I don't know if you've recently changed your diet or if you've changed anything like that, but I pick up stomach right away. I pick up stomach, and it possibly is leading down to like pancreas or gallbladder. And that means that maybe you have a sensitivity to greasy things or fats in general. So if you eat, let's say you go out and get a really greasy, delicious cheeseburger and you end up sick, okay, that's one thing. Or if you eat avocado and let's say olive oil, which are supposed to be good for you, and that kills you. It's figuring out what your body is doing that all of a sudden it has an issue with breaking down certain types of fats, because it starts right at the stomach into the duodenum and then right along the right portion of your body. And it stops at the gallbladder. So I'm wondering if you have some kind of an issue with how your body is breaking down fats, and maybe like doing a liver detox or something, because generally everything goes through the liver and it's broken down and moved through. So you may actually have more of like a non-alcoholic fatty liver syndrome going on, where your liver is storing fats because you're not breaking them down properly. So if you were to go through like some kind of, like I was telling you before, but if you were to go through like a fatty detox where you watch your fat intake, you may notice, and you may actually get like the pains of like, oh, this is weird, but it feels like it'd be purging your body. So also watch any kind of, when you go to the bathroom, if you have any kind of changes in your stool or anything like that, it could be because of the fatty breakdown in your body. But physically, that's what they're talking about. So that's probably to help fix that. On a spiritual level, interestingly enough, now I really don't cross hairs. As I don't do it because people are not, they're just not ready to cross hairs. People don't want to hear it. But when I set you down on your beach, you stop, and you stop and you go, wait, where am I? Like, what's going on? What is this? That when you did that, I heard this high-pitched metallic humming, like it was high. And I was like, what the heck spaceship did you just fall off of? So the fact that you probably feel like you don't belong here is because you don't belong here. Like you did not come originally from here. And the fact that you grew up believing that you didn't really truly belong anywhere is because you just never have fit in. And it's because you are definitely different, and that some people's souls are aged hundreds of years by many different human lives, whereas yours has this human life, maybe a short one before this as a human, where you were acclimating and didn't live very long. And then you probably came from a different planetary system or galaxy. And so you are that. And you know what? Speaking of which, I think that's truly why we've got all of these new DNA companies out there, because they're trying to figure out who is human and who's hybrid on top of who's what nationally. I seriously think that they're withholding. I want them to release all of our hybrid information. Like, oh my God, you're Lemurian. You're the list. So they're trying to figure out who is what. That's why I think they want all these DNA tests done. And lo and behold, who did it? Et moi. My mother bought it for everybody until I realized, wait a second, they're trying to figure out who's what. Not what we are, but who's what. And you're different. I would say you probably stargaze too and feel like that's home. I don't know.
I at least look up the sky quite a bit.
Yeah?
Yeah. I like going out at night, and especially when it's warm in particular, I gotta admit. When it's cold, no, I'm not into it.
No.
But I don't mind going outside, just kind of enjoying the warmth, just looking around for a little bit. Yeah, I like doing that.
Yeah. Have you ever had any experiences? Because I think you probably had about 6 or 7 years old where you may have either experienced something or saw something that I would think is
I had something
out of this
unusual
earth
that I don't know how to explain. I was like, it's strange. I was in bed I think I was in bed. I was just bobbing up and down, I guess. And I go up and down the shadow. There's some kind of shadow that went up with me. And then I went down the one time and it stayed up. I don't know how to explain that. And that was unusual. I have no idea what that was.
That's interesting. No, the fact that you have, usually children, when it comes to things like that, would be terrified, but it feels like it would have been something more like, pinch me, is this real, or what's happening, more trying to figure it out than scared. Interesting. But see, I think truly my experiences with that are probably what also add to what I'm able to do. And once they have contact with you, they will always have contact with you. They will always know you. They will always find you. And it's also discerning between angelic beings, spiritual beings, and alien beings. But yeah, this is why we talk on that a different show.
Certainly, yes.
Yeah.
Well, this show is different for this channel. This channel is predominantly Bigfoot. So
Bigfoot too. So yeah. I've personal experience with Bigfoot.
Can you tell us a little bit?
I have stood in front of Bigfoot. I have experienced Bigfoot. The phenomenon around it. I am not a person who would ever ascribe to the idea that Bigfoot is an ape in a way that like a gorilla or a primate like that. My personal experience tells me that it is probably interdimensional, very intelligent, very humanoid, and super freaking intelligent, more so than humans. And they have better abilities than humans. And they know where we are. They know how to communicate telepathically. They're also very remote. Like I can remote view them and they know I'm doing it. I can communicate with them and talk just as I'm talking to you. They're freaking amazing.
I didn't know you do remote viewing.
I may have to. Would you be interested before we go? My wife does a show on this here from behind tall trees. Would you be being a guest?
Absolutely. No, I would love to.
More of that remote. I was just going to ask you, do you communicate with them? Because we also think that they're interdimensional. And
Yep. So I was actually, when I went to the Phenomenon last September, I spoke with some gentlemen, Alan and Ron, and they put together Spiritual Bigfoot on Amazon. And it's his journey, Alan's journey about discerning this Bigfoot experience that he personally had in the woods. And we just happened to talk, and I told him about mine, and it's a really amazing movie, but it's on Amazon. I was I've been out in the woods several times and experienced them physically in front of us, and not just with myself, but with many other people. And they know that we're coming. And before I, interestingly enough, I don't want to get into it so much, but before I get into the woods, I will let the trees know. Can you let them know I'm coming and that we're coming and that we're safe? And the trees will pass on that message for us, and we will leave gifts and stuff, and they will talk back. Oh, it's just amazing. I have so many stories.
Well,
love
that's
it.
Definitely,
Next
definitely
time you're doing that, sign me up. I'll be out to Iowa.
I don't do it in Iowa. I do it in other states. It's Ohio and Illinois.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Ohio was about 4 hours. We went to the Salt Fork.
I was in Salt Fork. Yeah.
You were, yeah.
That's where I had
that's a hotbed.
Salt Fork. I was with I was doing a Bigfoot conference out there, and it was like 2018. I was with Bob Gimlin, Ronnie LeBlanc, Maddie Blake, and and Russell Acord. We were out, and Jeff Byers, he's with Creature Replica, but we were staying in a cabin right on the end of the trail, and we just were out having fun goofing around, and we were stormed by a Bigfoot. We actually ditched Jeff and ran, but it's all recorded. Ronnie and Maddie and I are running, and we're like, is Jeff alive? Because this thing is huge. So then Maddie had asked us, would you guys draw a picture of what you personally saw? The next night, Jeff and I went out by ourselves, no cameras, no phones, nothing. And this thing approached us again. It was like 12 feet tall.
Wow.
And so we drew pictures at different times, hundreds of miles apart, and sent them to him. And they were like the exact same picture. It was pretty amazing. But yeah, talk about some cool stuff.
That is awesome. That is
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I have to have my wife get in touch with you, Dan.
Yes, please do. That would be super fun to talk about it. I know some other people that she could bring on the show if she wanted to that have a lot of experience. Been on, probably heard of them. So.
Yes, awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds like it'd be very cool.
Excellent.
Well,
yay. Well, thanks so much for having me.
Oh, thanks for coming. Thanks for staying on.
Thank you.
Yes.
We're out of time.
Of
course. Yeah, she has another show to do. Plus, we give her a little bit of time between the two shows.
Thank you.
Of course, Dr. Rebecca Foster. Again, her website is, one second here,
godstool.com. Yep.
And her channel is a couple of different places you can watch her at. Twitch.tv/Paranormal Reality TV. Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. And also on Facebook at Paranormal Reality TV, their Facebook page.
Yep.
YouTube channel. Hers is youtube.com/C/Rebecca Foster. Are you still using that in a good bit?
I use all of it. YouTube has been kind of scratchy lately. Like, it's been odd. I still stream to it, but it's been weird, and I'm not sure why. Like, if I stream to them, I may get like a couple of people watching, and I'm not sure why. Whereas usually, a couple of years ago, I would have, 500 people sitting there with me, and lately it's not been that. So I still stream to them, but not as much. Not as much.
Also, for professional services, You can reach her at facebook.com/godsreader. Her
Yes.
Facebook page is facebook.com/Dr. Rebecca Foster.
Yes.
Coming appearances this month, next month, July 1st, she'll be at the Mason House Inn. There's a VIP gallery overnight breakfast or gallery only. There's now one set of 2 tickets remaining.
Yeah.
July 8th, she has an event, which I was not on her website.
I'm not selling tickets to that, but I think I have
tickets.
a link to it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Then July 15th, she'll be at the VFW number 8312 in Dayton, Ohio for a gallery.
Yes.
5.
And that's a fundraiser for them too. So I'm excited about that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
August 4th, Station 502 Pub and Pizza, 123 East 3rd Street, St. Pena, Illinois. That'll be a gallery reading from 3 to 5.
Yes.
And you can click for tickets as well as August 5th, Blue Bell, 2657 East, 250th North Road in Pena, Illinois from 3 to 5. Also a gallery reading.
Yes.
He has something scheduled for August 26th. It's to be announced. Can we announce it at all or not?
Yeah. No,
we can?
Okay. Yeah. Yes. So the 19th and I think it's the 19th and 20th, we will be in Staten Island filming for Paranormal Reality TV. And then we are going to an amazing mansion. I'm not going to say which one, but it's in Philadelphia, and we're going to be filming there. And then from there, we are going to just outside Philadelphia to another mansion to film. So we're filming in 3 locations between Staten Island, New York, and Philly that are going to be live. Oh my gosh, it's going to be exhausting, but we're going to have super fun. And I'm not sure what gallery we're doing, but we try to fit in some kind of gallery in there somewhere. It'll probably be around the Philly area that we do it. And there's always food. So wherever there's food, I'm there. Food. Love the food.
Nothing more you could ask for.
Yeah.
Food and a reading.
Food and a reading. Exactly.
Definitely.
Exactly. Excellent.
Oh, and also, I'm sorry, September 20th to October 1st, excuse me, Spiritual Bigfoot in Colorado tickets as well.
And those actually, that has been postponed. So he postponed it because there was other things that he was filming, and then he cut off ticket sales before they could actually take off because he has some things that he's filming right now for another paranormal Bigfoot thing. But so that's not happening at this point, but there are other things that'll be filmed in October. We're going to be filming, and I've got several investigations to galleries in the Fort Dodge, Iowa area. So
October 13th and 14th, you'll be in Fort
Dodge.
Yes,
exactly.
Yep. All right.
And we'll be in Kentucky, I believe, in September. That's not completely solidified, but we'll be down in Kentucky as well.
All right. That's great.
I know.
Our next show will be July 20th with Ernie Atwell of Paranormal Inc. He's an author and co-host of Step into the Paranormal.
He's my guy.
July 27th, the Ghost Finders from YouTube. They've been together for 12 seasons doing filming on YouTube. If you like the broadcast, consider helping us out by liking and sharing. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and watching on Facebook or giving a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel, and sharing on YouTube. If you watch this far, don't forget to hit the bell to be notified of future broadcasts. Thank you. We appreciate all of you, especially those. We appreciate everyone and for tuning in for the whole time. Thank you, chat. Sorry we could not get to quite a bit of the chat comments. But it was great. We'll have to have Dr. Foster back on. Hopefully she'll come back on with us.
Of course.
Okay, awesome. And Michael, do you have anything to add by chance?
No, just hey, I guess we're coming up closer to August 12th. My wife's having a Bigfoot paranormal cryptid event in Elysburg by August 12th. So that's about it.
Nice.
So yeah.
Fun.
If we get you on her show, she could tell you because we think we're cohabitating with a Bigfoot. We haven't. She saw one in a field, and ever since then, some strange things have been happening here. So
once they find you, once they know you're safe, you're good. You're like golden with them. They will keep coming back.
It's more her than me. I mean, and then she also is like an empath, and still trying to home in her abilities. But yeah,
absolutely, so,
awesome. Yeah. Thank you. I mean, and good luck with your next show.
Yes, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. Yes. Thank you, and have a great next show. Again, we will return July 20th with Ernie Atwell of Paranormal Inc. And we're going to take you out. So long.
Hey, this is Chuck Larson. You're watching the CARC channel on YouTube.
This has been a CARC Universal production.